Back with Bobby and JG Radio. Just joining us, we're speaking with Jeff Jackson. He's a shareholder with Sol Schartz Associates, which is a huge powerhouse CPA firm here in the San Antonio metro area. He laid the foundation for us and let us know everything broad brushstrokes about the company. If you missed any of our previous interview with Jeff, you go to bobbyandjgradio.com. Be a fan of our show. We're here every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You can download or stream the show on Mondays, and you can see his good-looking face here on YouTube in a couple weeks, and we'll definitely get that out on bobbyandjgradio.com. So back to you, Jeff. So Sol Schartz has a niche in healthcare. What does that mean for business or as business purposes?
Yeah.
Go.
Like I said before, we've kind of over the years accumulated a lot of doctors' offices, doctors as clients.
Sure.
So we have an understanding of their business.
Right.
So physicians are trained to be physicians.
Right.
I mean, so they're specially trained. So they know
how
medicine.
to take care of me. Yeah.
They know medicine, but they don't necessarily know how to run a business.
Sure.
And the medical practice is definitely a business
Sure.
that they need to take care of. So what our role in this is that we come in and make sure that from a business standpoint, everything's running smoothly. Everything's running as best as it can to take as much pressure off of the doctor themselves as we can.
Last thing I want my doctor doing is payroll. Is pretty
Right.
much what you're saying. Yeah. I'd rather be focusing on my lab work and what's wrong with me than dealing with the ins and outs of the business.
Right, exactly. And the way that we do the healthcare niche is we really do it as a team concept. We have billing consultants, and we have other consultants, just business consultants, and we have some real estate folks that,
Sure.
that we know that build out medical practices and things like that. We do the tax side of things, and we do the audit side of things.
Right.
We can help them with their bookkeeping. We don't necessarily like to do that
Right.
per se, but as far as the tax planning and making sure that they, if they're getting financials, that they're able to read them and that they mean something to them, because a lot of times, again, they're medically trained, they're not business.
Right.
So understanding what the balance sheet or what the income statement is telling them, we try and help them understand that and kind of decipher it, and we can put dashboards together that help them run things differently.
And I'm sure that you can consult them on, is it worth it for us to be renting right now or to open up our own place?
Correct.
Or, and kind of like what are the benefits and the pros and cons of doing that kind of stuff?
Correct.
And tax benefits also.
Right. And we do that also, we would want to separate, if they are building a building, we'll separate that into a different entity
Right.
than the business. So if they're bringing in, additional doctors, they grow and they're bringing in additional doctors, they still own the building.
Right.
Or if the doctors want to buy into the building, then they can buy into the building as well.
Sure.
So it's just kind of making sure that we kind of separate the business side from the rental side on some of those things is a lot of what we do for doctors' offices. We provide some benchmarking ideas through some of the organizations that we're with. We get information, like cardiologists make X amount of dollars. So if you're a cardiologist in San Antonio, we can benchmark and say, okay, you're doing better, you're doing worse than what the benchmark is. Let's look at what's making that happen.
So you actually have, like the standard for what they should
Correct.
be, what kind of profit they should be bringing in.
Correct.
And if they're not doing that, you adjust.
Correct. Or we dig deeper to find out why.
Sure.
Is your payroll 20% higher than what's considered the norm on those types of things? And
Right.
and that's part of the groups that we're with. We're a member of the Texas Medical Association, which is a statewide association for all doctors.
Right.
Bexar County Medical Society, the Management Group Management Association. That's the one who does a lot of the benchmarking, because that's the administrators of the offices. So
Right.
they're able to put together some of that data that we can put together for the doctors.
I've never thought of that, but I guess it makes sense because we work with a lot of lawyers too. We have no idea who makes who's a good lawyer, because in real estate, our numbers are pretty out there. You know how many transactions these teams made, or what their total sales are per year.
Right.
So I didn't even think about it, but in the medical industry, I'm sure it's the same. It's a very closed book, and so you really don't know. But you actually take a benchmark of what they should be making, and then you're like, hey, you're here, or you're doing very well. Or we need to readjust because you're below the bar.
Correct.
I got you. That's
I just
awesome.
went to the guy on the back of the telephone book.
Yeah, you just go to the back.
I thought that's how we did it. Jeff, many people or most people don't have everything in place. How do you help them? You already talked about benchmarking, but what else can you do to help people?
Again, we can start from the beginning. If it's a new doctor coming out, we make sure that they get the right entity set up and how they're going to do it. Kind of what their plans are. A lot of them want to stay solo. A lot of them want to be, this is my practice. This is all I'm going to do.
Right.
I don't want partners. I don't want anybody coming in. I don't want to make decisions with anybody else. this is my deal. Other folks like to have partners and to bounce things off of, or to share overhead costs and things like that. So, it's kind of it's really independent and unique to each practice as they come out, because it really is dependent on what they want. So we try and tailor everything to what they want.
Sure. And so across the nation, we know the practices are being bought out. Is that something that's happening here in the San Antonio metro area?
Actually, we haven't seen that. We sit in on a lot of webinars, and a lot of the hospitals in some of the bigger metro areas are buying up a lot of the practices. Cardiology practices are now being drawn back into the hospitals. Well, in San Antonio, we're not seeing it. We're seeing the San Antonio doctors like to be entrepreneurial.
Right.
They want to run their own business. They don't want a boss anymore.
Right.
To where kind of what we're hearing in those webinars is that some of the doctors are getting tired of that, and they would rather have somebody else just deal with all the headache of all the administrative, staffing and all of that. They don't want to deal with it.
I got you.
But in San Antonio, I haven't seen that in ours. Ours like to be independent. Ours like to be entrepreneurial, and they own and make their own decisions.
Sure. So if you're a doctor out there, it seems like you should get on the phone immediately if you're not with Sol Schartz right now. You can call their practice at 210-384-8000. Again, that's 210-384-8000. Take a quick break. We'll be right back with Bobby and JJ Radio.